back set to McClendon. Missed it wide. Here's Maria with more.
Yeah, guys, I watched Hancock a lot on the sideline as she was trying to leap and do a couple of jumps. She would not land on that left foot, was letting her right foot come down first and really trying to protect it. Looks like she wasn't completely comfortable before entering the game again.
And just to clarify, too, Fisher was across the line underneath the net, which is okay as long as you're not into the net.
You are allowed, there is a center line always in volleyball, and you're allowed to land on it with part of your foot in the opposition's side of the court. As long as some part of your foot is on your side, you're legal. So that's a legal play. You still don't want to land close. But then if Maria, as she was saying, that Hancock was having trouble landing, it could be a thing where she plays in the back row only, and Carpenter plays in the front for her if she's having too much pain. They could use two setters, a front row and a back row.
How about that, switching to a 6-2 in the semis for the first time all year. Fisher over the top of the block, and Hancock unable to get to that loose ball with the ankle.
Did not look like she could explode after that one.
Kawasaki serving. Oregon in charge here in the second, trying to even it up. 6-1 run for the Ducks. Hancock, the quick in the middle of Grant. Good defense by Kawasaki. Free ball, Penn State. Scott.
Nice set by Plum. That's a hittable ball.
Good block for Grant. This is Bergsma. 1v1. Missed it long. Point Penn State. Katie Slade back in up front now at 6'6". Their big blocker is in.
And talking to her team in the backcourt saying, look, let's manufacture some points here. Let's see what we can do. This game is not lost yet. Good touch by Slade. Creates an opportunity.
Off the block as Scott is able to make something good out of a tough set.
Rose has always called her a great instinctive blocker. As soon as she arrived at Penn State, she was blocking, but what Slade has done is really picked up her offensive game in the meantime.
Williams dug up by Hancock, was able to get down for that. And Scott quickly in transition.
And Slade jumping in to make the set. Haven't seen a lot of that from her this weekend. Oregon's got to be careful in terms of, we know somebody's hurt. Oftentimes players or teams will let up. It's like they're trying so hard to take advantage of the hindrance that the other team is trying to overcome, that they get away from their own game.
Gonzalez with the serve. Plum looking to Fisher, and there's Slade.
And I don't like that choice for Oregon, because you're going into the best block that Penn State can put up. Slay at 6'6", and then Ariel Scott at 6'4".
6 blocks for Slay, 6 for Courtney, and Penn State has scored 4 in a row. Well, as our volleyball tournament comes to its conclusion this weekend, down the stretch in the FCS football championships as well, presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Semifinals on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Georgia Southern, North Dakota State up in Fargo tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. The championship will be January 5th. Russ Rose with the 4 consecutive championships, 07, 08, 09, and 10, looking to tie Stanford with the program's 6th national championship, and what a run it's been. An NCAA record 109 match win streak, 94 match home win streak, 26 straight NCAA tournament wins, the first team to go back-to-back to undefeated to win championships, and the first three-peat and the four-peat.
And in 1998, he had an undefeated team that goes against an undefeated Long Beach State with an average player named Misty May, and they lose their first loss of the season, and people are thinking, is Penn State ever going to be able to win? And here we are just a little over 10 years later, 14 years later, and they've won 5. and on their verge or in a great position, depending on what happens with Hancock's ankle, to maybe win a sixth this year.
That included that 2008 undefeated championship team that everybody on the floor was an All-American for the Nittany Lions that year.
And that was that great quote from the coach at the time, good block by Slay, at the time from Minnesota, Coach Mike Hebert, who said they squashed us like a bug. And another block by Penn State, and all of a sudden they're pulling themselves back into this match. Hancock still has not had to come back to the front row. We'll see what Coach Rhodes decides to do, if he's going to leave her in or not.
Well, look at the points they're scoring here, Coach, without her having to set. They're scoring with the block.
Yep.
Here she will have to set.
But
looking to Scott.
Choice.
Got it.
She caught the middle for Oregon, cheating the other way, gets Scott the one-on-one. And now only down by 4.
6 straight for Penn State. Timeout, Oregon. Katie Slay re-entering the game, changing it.
And Oregon may be playing a little carefully, thinking, okay, something's different now because there's an injury on the other side, instead of just sticking with their plan and staying with playing aggressive volleyball.
Also here in this second set, Ariel Scott has awakened a bit. She was quiet in the opener, now up to 7 kills for Scott. 5 in this set.
Another little thing you got to think about is there is in NCAA championship play a 10-minute break between the set number 2 and set number 3. If you're Hancock, you want to keep moving. You don't want that
she
break.
Doesn't want to stand.
They're going to have to figure out how to keep that thing from tightening up on her during those 10 minutes.
Slay and Courtney with 7 blocks each, keeping Penn State in this second set. The winner will face Texas on Saturday night on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern for the national championship. The Horns looking for their first title in 24 years. And it will be their second semifinal in the last, or second final rather, in the last 4 seasons. Okay, now if you're Jim Moore coming out of this timeout, do you say, Coach, no more audibles for the time being. Let's feed who? Bergsma?
I say you got to go, you got to try to attract Slay's attention with something in the middle, but set it fast to one sideline or the other. Like that, except that Courtney, that's the play that Oregon probably drew up. They got the one-on-one, but here's Megan Courtney, who sets up perfectly and takes the cross-court away. Left the line, made the right choice.
7 straight points. I think 5 of them were off of blocks.
And it's still going. Now a bad pass, trouble play for Oregon.
Bergsma got it by the block point, Oregon. We're going to 25, got to win by 2. Beth Mullins, Coach Karai, Maria Taylor with you here in the national semis. Oregon here for the first time. Penn State perennially in the hunt for a championship. Slay with the kill.
And that time she went off 1 foot in front of the setter. Normally you see that slide going around behind, but she is generally better off one leg, jumping off one leg than off 2. Hancock is being left in the game. We weren't sure if they were going to take her out, but she is going to try and block. If you're Lauren Plum, the setter, the quarterback for Oregon, you probably want to test Hancock at the net.
Where's the stress point? Can you hide a player on the volleyball court that's hurt like that?
Not really. She's up there. You got to see her if you're the setter. And now
there
they
she
go at
is.
her.
Yep. They found Hancock and they get the kill.
If I were Plum, I would have gone at her right on the first set, not on the second.
Let's see if they continue to pound at that left side, which is where Hancock would have to be. McClendon, back row, not much on it. Brenner. Good dig. And Courtney tools the block. National semifinals here in Louisville. Penn State winning the opener. opening set, it looked like Oregon was going to cruise to even the match here in the second, and the Penn State block has changed it. Williams sliding behind. Penn State setter right there, Micah Hancock, number 12, with an ankle injury, severely limping.
And Penn State is just deciding with Williams, the quick hitter for Oregon, struggling so much, they're just going to send Katie Slade, their middle blocker, out the other way. She steps out. They get two people up. She's leaning out toward Brenner.
Terrific get there by Gonzalez, and then Brenner. Ooh, I don't know if that one made it across. Gonzalez digs it up. Hancock unable to joust. I think Brenner's went into the net.
And if you're Gonzalez, you are kicking yourself. That was an easy defensive play, and you don't want to put Hancock in a bad position with a gimpy ankle.
Big moment here for Oregon. They need to close out this second set. They're 2 points away. Fisher's pass behind the bench.
Hancock, the other thing to watch is what kind of serve is she going to use when she goes back, seeing how her ankle feels. Her serving turn comes next.
Plum down on both knees, sliding over on the set. Hancock looking for McClendon, couldn't put it down. Back to Brenner. Long.
At the start of that play, they actually had Micah Hancock blocking in the middle. They're putting a stronger blocker out on the